When I read Wuthering Heights for the first time, I did not like it, but now it has become one of my favorite books. Welcome back to Late Art Adventures. Today we are talking about the very famous book, the only novel written by Emily Bronte. It is weird and fierce, controversial, but so revolutionary. It clearly sets itself apart from all the other novels in literature. So a brief summary of the Wuthering Heights story.
One winter of 1801, a man named Lockwood, who is the first-person narrator of the book, rents a house called Thrushcross Grange in the moor country of England. His landlord, named Heathcliff, who lives 4 miles away in a place called Wuthering Heights, appears to be a very gloomy and sulky person. One night, Lockwood has to stay at Wuthering Heights due to a storm, and over there he has a nightmare about a ghostly woman who begs to enter his room through the window, and the name of the woman appears to be Catherine. After this episode, Lockwood returns to Thrushcross Grange, and the housekeeper Nellie Dean tells Lockwood all the backstory of Heathcliff and Catherine, and what happened at Thrushcross Grange and Wuthering Heights decades ago. It turns out that Wuthering Heights was originally inhabited by the Earnshaw family 30 years ago. One day, Mr. Earnshaw comes back from a trip to Liverpool, and he brings back home an orphan. He calls him Heathcliff. Earnshaw has 2 children of his own, Catherine and Hindley, but Heathcliff manages to become Earnshaw's favorite. Out of jealousy, Hindley mistreats Heathcliff. But Catherine and Heathcliff become very close to each other. Not just close, they develop an intense passion towards each other. They become literally inseparable. As we later found out that intense love between Catherine and Heathcliff is actually pathological. Catherine loves Heathcliff so much, but chooses to marry Edgar Linton, who's from another family living in Thrushcross Grange. Catherine chooses Edgar over Heathcliff because she thinks Edgar is more refined and has a higher social status. But Heathcliff is wild and low. After Catherine and Edgar got married, Catherine and Heathcliff still cannot forget each other. Heathcliff blames Catherine for betraying him, and they keep having intense emotional interactions. In this process, Catherine becomes sick out of distress and eventually dies after she gives birth to a daughter, Cathy. Heathcliff seeks revenge by mistreating everyone involved. Not just mistreating, it's torturing, abusing, including torturing Catherine's daughter, Cathy. He eventually took over both Wuthering Heights and Thrushcross Grange through his various schemes. At the end of the novel, Heathcliff still cannot make peace with his unfulfilled love for Catherine and dies. Cathy marries Hindley's son, and it appears that peace is finally restored in both houses.
The first time when I read Wuthering Heights, I absolutely knew nothing about the book. I simply delved into the book with no background. And I was shocked. It is weird. Everyone in the book seems to be so unhappy, and everyone hates each other and has absolutely no emotion regulation skills. And in a way, just a bunch of kids who never seem to grow up. They want to get whatever they want, and if they don't get it, they simply resort to self-destruction, and eventually they die. Both Heathcliff and Catherine die in this self-destructive fashion. Let me give you some examples. When Catherine is so sick and dying, Heathcliff tells her,
"You teach me how cruel you've been, cruel and false. Why did you despise me? Why did you betray your own heart, Cathy? I have not one word of comfort. You deserve this. You have killed yourself. Yes, you may kiss me and cry, and rain out my kisses and tears. They will blight you. They will damn you. You loved me, then what right had you to leave me? What right, answer me, for the poor fancy you felt for Linton? Because misery and degradation and death and nothing that God or Satan could inflict would have parted us. You of your own will did it. I have not broken your heart. You have broken it. And in breaking it, you have broken mine."
Would you say something like this to a dying person? After Catherine dies, Heathcliff comments,
"May she wake in torment. Why? She's a liar to the end. Where is she? Not there, not in heaven, not perished. Where? Oh, you said you cared nothing for my sufferings. And I pray one prayer. I repeat it till my tongue stiffens. Catherine Earnshaw, may you not rest, as long as I am living. You said I killed you. Haunt me then. The murdered do haunt their murderers. I believe, I know that ghosts have wandered on earth. Be with me always, take any form, drive me mad. Only do not leave me in this abyss where I cannot find you. Oh God, it is unutterable. I cannot live without my life. I cannot live without my soul.
Heathcliff is clearly devastated by Catherine's death. After all, Heathcliff cost Catherine his own life and soul. But his love is pathological. He wishes Catherine to go wake up in torment and curses her to never rest in peace, but to haunt him on earth. Eventually, Heathcliff's obsession with his dead Catherine consumed his own life. Reading this book for the first time, I couldn't help but wonder why. What's the point? What does the story try to tell me by these very extreme characters? Even though I did not like the story, I couldn't deny the fact that the book really left a dent in me. The language was masterfully written. The emotion it managed to provoke in me is uncomfortable, confusing, but also intense and unforgettable. It was a very unique reading experience to me, unlike any other book. And the more I think about and analyze it, the more I began to appreciate the book. I think an analogy that I could make is the Expressionism in art history. We know that towards the beginning of the 20th century, artists were no more content with an imitation of nature. In their painting, forms and colors are distorted on purpose in order to evoke strong empathy, by which I mean strong emotions or ideas. For example, Edvard Munch's The Scream, painting in 1893. When you look at such art, you feel uncomfortable, and you get the emotional response the artist wants to invoke in you. Reading the art becomes a unique emotional experience, which can render the traditional high Renaissance art boring, in which everything was painted in the perfect form and colors. I think Wuthering Heights is a piece of art just like in Expressionism. Are Catherine and Heathcliff extreme? No doubt about that. We don't see people like them very often in real life. But I think their personalities were purposely distorted to the extreme, just like in an expressionist piece of art, to evoke strong emotions in us, to make us empathize, and to make us ponder on the depth and intricacies of human nature, emotions, and desires. Remember a moment when your emotion was taken over by extreme anger, or jealousy, or sadness? Do those moments bear a resemblance of what Catherine and Heathcliff experienced? I think even though Wuthering Heights is extreme, I bet everyone can find some connections to their own emotional experience in their lives. And the book was done in such a masterful way, it brings the readers an unparalleled, unforgettable, however uncomfortable, yet profound reading experience. Wuthering Heights is like a wild beast among its peer novels, like a Fauvism piece of art with bold colors and brushwork. You can disparage them, you can despise them, but you can't deny the fact that when you pay attention to them, the art can move you in a way like no other. This is Wuthering Heights, its uniqueness and its beauty. Thank you for watching Little Adventures. If you like the video, please subscribe or leave some comments. It will be great support for the channel. See you next time.